Hello and welcome to ILTV's Israel Daily. I'm Aaron Porras, and coming up in today's newscast, a power struggle exploding in Knesset Wednesday between coalition and opposition lawmakers. Meantime, COVID regulations changing again, while some experts question the need for the Green Pass policies altogether. And finally, peace, increasingly the bug that everyone's catching. 2 more Muslim nations said working to join the expanded Abraham Accords. Starting with security tonight, a Palestinian gunman shot dead Thursday morning by IDF troops outside of Shechem or Nablus in the West Bank. The suspected terrorist opening fire on the troops with an M16 assault rifle as they arrived to carry out an arrest operation in the Balata refugee camp. No soldiers were injured in the attack, however, and they returned fire, killing the shooter. Additionally, the IDF later completing their raid, successfully arresting their original target. Meantime, the gunman, identified as a 22-year-old Palestinian, not claimed as a member by any particular terror group, but his brother claiming that the shooter was already wanted for some time by Israeli authorities. And Hamas, for one, praising the attack and condemning Israel for killing the quote-unquote hero martyr. And then finally, in somewhat related news, the IDF officially announcing plans to demolish the apartment belonging to one of the terrorists who murdered Yehuda Dimentman in Homesh last month. The shooter's family given time to file an objection, while Dimentman's family calling the move too little too late. The 25-year-old Dimentman killed in a drive-by shooting mid-December outside the Homesh outpost where he studied in Jewish seminary or yeshiva. Moving on, it's been a whirlwind 6 months since the new government took office, and the quote-unquote change coalition already has several achievements to its name, not least of which is including finally passing a budget for the first time in over 2 years. But still, a new annual survey from the Israel Democracy Institute claiming that while trust in the government is slightly up, overall confidence in state institutions is dismally low. In fact, the institution with the highest level of trust remaining the IDF, and even their trust rating slipping from 90 to 78%, the lowest it's been in 13 years. And the next most trustworthy institutions being the president with just a 56% approval rating, followed by the Supreme Court with 41% and the police with 33.5%. Then at the bottom, the Knesset and political parties with 21% and 10% public trust respectively. That said, the government as a whole among the only institutions on the list to rise by 2 points to 27%. And likewise surprising, Arab Israelis' trust in state institutions and officials rising over the last year, as opposed to Jewish levels in the country which fell. This is the first time in decades that an Arab Israeli party has been a part of the coalition, and the first time ever under a right-wing premier. Now, speaking of government, a debate over a bill to connect thousands of illegally built homes to the power grid, mostly in Arab communities, erupting in shouts, insults, and a walkout, particularly after an all-Arabic argument between coalition and opposition lawmakers. But more than anything, this bill becoming the latest representative of the increasingly hostile dynamic on the floor of the Knesset. Joining me to discuss is Likud Party Knesset member Mai Golan. Mai, thank you so much for joining us. Now, what are your take on the events from last night?
Well, listen, I know the media has been making a big riot about what's going on in the Knesset, but apparently some people forgot that we are the opposition. And I know that the current coalition that was the opposition just not long ago didn't really know the meaning of what it means to be in the opposition. And we, the Likud party, the party who led this country for the last decade, and quite successfully, may I add, really know what it means to fight for what we believe in and our values. And the actual fact is that from the moment this horrible government was formed, the people that run it has been bullying us and been destroying everything that we have built for the last decade. And just because we are telling them the truth right to their faces doesn't mean that we're trying to make a riot. Just means that they can't handle the truth. And what happened yesterday proved everything that we've been saying about the con man that people are having to call him the Prime Minister of Israel, Naftali Bennett.